Start your engine!
Hello everybody, Timothy Brown here, back at another video, and today we are here for the NASMAR race at Bristol for the Bristol Night Race, the Bass Pro Shops 500. I am here joined with Victor Imbasciani and Will Reagan.
Well, hello everybody, welcome to NASMAR at Bristol. It's great to be back on the Timothy Brown crew. It's a good day for a great day of racing, so up to you, Will.
Yeah, last time we were here, I was the one covering Bristol, all the Bristol action. Denny Hamlin ended up winning that race. But I'm glad I can kind of chill out and just stay in the booth here for tonight's racing.
Yeah, we have a quite an interesting playoff battle here for the round of 16 coming into the round of 12. It is the elimination race tonight, and we have four cars who had an awful first two races to this round. Denny Hamlin, Austin Cindric, Ty Gibbs, and Josh Berry have all had awful luck throughout the first two races so far. They are all on a huge deficit today, and we also have a tire package as well here today with that NASMAR brought. And it is going to have a little bit more tire wear than usual. Last time it was not really balanced, and it kind of just stayed the same throughout the entire race. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit more different today.
So yeah, the spring race had some decent racing, but overall, about the top 10 stayed relatively the same throughout the pack. It was difficult to pass really within the top 5-6 positions. So hopefully this new tire package can kind of spice things up a little and improve the quality of racing we see here tonight.
Well, I hope there's some form of passing. Might make it more entertaining, right?
Yeah, you're right, Victor. We're going to head down to our pit reporters, Michael Avery, Ethan Shield, Ethan DeWeldy, and Kobe Lavin for our ones to watch.
Christopher Bell has had a solid run so far with top 10s at both Darlington and Gateway. He comes into this race now at Bristol with a 67-point advantage, more than anybody else, and he's already locked into the round of 12. He rolls off from pole position, looking to make it 3 strong runs here in the opening round.
Denny Hamlin comes in Bristol today, desperately needing a really good run here at Bristol today, coming in minus 22 below the cut line. In practice, he did apply Christopher Bell's setup, believing that it would work well, and so far it has. He's qualified decently today. Let's hope Denny can get that great run that he needs, and he is able to progress into the next round.
These two guys are not letting up. Throughout the first two races of the round of 16, Logano and Chastain have been each at each other's throats. First, the front stretch incident at Darlington, and then the two incidents at Gateway, including the wreck coming to the finish. Ross rolls off 6th and is only 22 above the bubble and needs to stay close to Denny to prevent being eliminated. Logano has a better gap of 39 points to Hamlin, but is starting 13th, so he has a little bit of work to do, but is most likely clear to make it to the round of 12.
These three guys are basically in a must-win position to make the round of 12. Josh Berry is minus 40, Ty Gibbs minus 47, and Austin Cindric is minus 50 points entering tonight's race. After some heartbreaking performances between these three drivers at Gateway and a multi-car wreck at Darlington, these three need a huge points night or a win to make the round of 12.
Denny Hamlin had a couple issues at Darlington and Gateway. At Darlington, he had a penalty late in the race, a commitment cone or a choose cone violation, and then at Gateway, he ended up crashing out relatively early on in the race. Gibbs, Cindric, and Barry all had that multi-car wreck at Darlington relatively late in the race, and then at Gateway, they all had issues between fuel and strategy and whatnot late in the race that all had them fighting for the win and then ended up all finishing at the back of the pack.
Well, revisiting that tire thing, players or drivers with issues last week, looking at tires, I mean, you could lose a tire if the package is softer on tire. The track temp might be a lot different than in the spring with your race will. And I don't know, just going to be interesting for these NASMAR drivers to navigate their way around.
Yeah, there's a lot of unknowns coming into this race. It's the same track as the spring, obviously, but it's different, completely different conditions. It is summertime. It's the end of summer. We're in September. It's a night race, so there could be more grip on the track, but the ambient temperature is way hotter than the spring race. So the drivers just don't know what's going to happen tonight. The new tire, it being nighttime, there's a lot of unknowns coming into tonight's race.
Yeah, for sure, and that's going to lead to a lot of wild style racing, and usually Bristol does deliver with that, especially in stop motions. As well, going back to Denny Hamlin, he's about -20 here coming into tonight's race. He did win the spring race for Will's race. Pretty sure he beat Chastain in a photo finish, and we'll most likely see a lot more insane racing tonight. But now we're going to head down to me for a pre-race invocation. I want us to have a moment of silence for the passing of Charlie Kirk, Irina Zaruska, also for the injured victims in the Evergreen High School shooting, and for the 2,977 victims that have all passed from the 9/11 terrorist attacks 24 years ago. Thank you and God bless. And now we will have the national anthem. And now we'll go trackside and hand it off to Tim Dwyer for the command.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bristol. Let's get ready to rumble! Drivers, start your engines!
All right, thank you, Tim Dwyer. And now the cars are rolling off pit road here as we're going to get underway relatively soon here at the Bristol Motor Speedway for the Bass Pro Shops 500. Bell leads them all off. And as they head down the back straightaway, Denny Hamlin lines up next to Christopher Bell as we're going to get the starting lineup shortly.
Yeah, and like stated earlier, I hope it's a sunset into night race, so we're going to see the track temp change for sure because, you know, the sun's not hitting the track anymore. It'll change the way the drivers see the racetrack. It'll change the way the tire wear is. It'll change where you run on the racetrack. It'll change who you run around. I mean, it's going to be a very interesting race here as we're going to go to your starting lineup.
As we get to the starting lineup, row 1 is Christopher Bell next to Denny Hamlin, and row 2 is Kyle Larson and Ryan Blaney.
Then there's Chase Elliott next to Ross Chastain. Then Chase Briscoe and William Byron.
Then it's Tyler Reddick and Chris Buescher, followed by Kyle Busch and Bubba Wallace.
Row 7 takes up Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski, and in row 8 is Ty Gibbs and Daniel Suarez.
Behind them, the 16 of AJ Allmendinger next to the Daytona 500 winner Austin Cindric.
Then it's Josh Berry and Ryan Priest, followed by Alex Bowman and SVG.
Row 12, Carson Hocevar next to Noah Gregson, and row 13 is Austin Dillon and Connor Zilich.
Then Eric Jones next to Jimmy Johnson, the 7-timer. Then Noah Gregson and Justin Haley.
Then you got Todd Gillen and Michael McDowell, followed by Ricky Stenhouse and John Hunter Nemechek.
And in row 18 is Zane Smith next to Cole Custer, and rounding up your field today is Riley Herbst and Cody Ware in row 19. As the cars are going to be coming down pit road to get their speed checks all ready for when we have pit stops later in the race, as that's going to give us a 1 to go green as well. Geese at Bristol today is 25 laps, 6, 6, and 13 are the laps. We have a different tire package than we did in the spring. The fuel window is 16 to 19 laps. It's going to be a day into the night race. Watch for the high lane later when people are going to start using it, when the grip starts coming alive up there. Hamlin, Berry, Cindric, and Gibbs all need to make it into the next round. They're all negative. And Christopher Bell's your pole sitter. Now we have Jimmy Johnson, 2001 car coming up to the front of the field. He's your honorary pace car here today, and he'll help lead the pace car down pit road to come to the green flag. The cars are entering turn 3 and 4. Hamlin and Bell, 1 and 2. As the pace cars make their dive down pit road, Bell's going to enter the restart zone. He gets a good jump, and green flag's in the air. We are underway at Bristol.
Well, after one lap, it's Christopher Bell still your leader. Top 3, single file out. Double file behind, that's Ryan Blaney and Chase Briscoe.
It's a Gibbs runaway at the front currently with Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin. Larson's falling right behind, though. He's not letting the leaders get away. And yeah, Briscoe had a big moment right there, right in front of Reddick and Chastain.
Yeah, Chastain gave him the shot there entering turn 3. Meanwhile, Christopher Bell is trying to pull away from the field, though. But Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson still in tow.
Side by side, that's Reddick and Chastain. William Byron likes to sneak his nose into the picture a little bit underneath the 45 machine. Side by side through 3 and 4, he'll get that position.
Byron with a good move there on Tyler Reddick. Now as he pulls away from that 45 machine. Up front, Larson's on the back bumper of Denny Hamlin, putting some pressure on that Joe Gibbs Toyota.
As you look at the cut line on the ticker, Denny Hamlin is positive 10 at the moment, but that's because he's running so high in the field as we're going to hit lap traffic here, so Cody Ware is up ahead.
Well, Denny Hamlin's best case scenario tonight is going to be wanting to get a win. Christopher Bell, though, his teammate, way out and ahead. He's the wins leader this season. He won Richmond a few weeks ago, another short track. Larson, though, closing in on that 11.
Denny trying to be cautious here, but as Larson comes to the inside, he's going to make a move for that second position. Larson is going to have that move made off turn number 2. Larson's going to be cleared into second. Denny Hamlin falls back to third.
But as Bell rounds off turn 4, he laps Cody Ware, and at the line, he's going to win stage 1. Kyle Larson second, Denny Hamlin third, and they're side by side for 4th.
Well, big stage points there for the 20 machine as he rolls off in first. Kyle Larson ahead of Hamlin there. Hamlin, big picture there. And pretty much all playoff drivers other than Chase Briscoe.
Yeah, not much movement. A lot of playoff drivers up there. Chastain, he was close to the cut line as well. He gets good stage points.
Yes, we got 3 cars on pit road. It's Josh Berry, Carson Hocevar, and Alex Bowman. There is an interesting pit window here today, so we'll see if these guys have a different strategy than the rest of the field. They obviously are pitting because they're not up front. But stage 1 is in the books here at Bristol, and we're going to head to commercial break, and we'll be back with the start of stage 2.
I need an egg.
No. Shower time!
And we're back here at Bristol as Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson will lead the field to the juice cone here as we restart for stage 2.
And everyone's going to take their turn at the choose cone past the start-finish line. We're going to get a restart here.
The field all lined up for this stage 2 restart. Christopher Bell dominated that first stage. He's going to be the leader on this restart as they come to the green. And the green flag is out, and Bell gets the early jump into turn number 1.
Bell with a great jump once again in the restart zone. He leads Kyle Larson and the rest of the field down into turn number 1 as he's already clear. Christopher Bell with a great jump.
Christopher Bell far and away the best car all day. 3 wide further back. That's Chase Briscoe making up some moves. Kyle Larson, though, trying to hunt down that 20 as they're side by side, still 3 wide going into 1 and 2.
3 wide at Bristol is always a tight fit. Byron trying to split it up high. Blaney being split down the middle. Blaney is still middle 3 wide. He finally gets in line, but Ty Gibbs makes a very aggressive move to the middle. He gets 2 positions in 1 corner.
Yeah, I think that highline is starting to come in here at Bristol. Oh, and Zane Smith has blown up. He takes the car to the garage. It looks like we won't get a caution, and we stay green. Meanwhile, Ryan Blaney is losing a ton of ground.
Here's Chastain looking around the outside of Chase Briscoe. He's going to set his sights on that 9 machine. But back to the leaders, it's Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell duking it out.
Larson's starting to rip the high line. The high line is coming in here at Bristol. Larson's going to go to that line once again. Hopefully he can get side by side off turn number 4. And he doesn't get there. Bell closes the door and Larson cuts to the inside.
Textbook move from Kyle Larson to get around Christopher Bell top to bottom. They're on the front straightaway as you see lap traffic in the distance, but it's not going to be enough. They're not going to get to them in time. Bell sends it into 3 and 4 one more time, but Kyle Larson holds the lead, and he kind of come off turn 4 and win stage 2.
Well, don't get your hopes up right now, Larson fans, but that 5 machine looks really good. Big mover there. Past Hamlin last stage and now past Christopher Bell, ripping that top. Still only Chase Briscoe, the only non-playoff driver in the top 10. You see Denny Hamlin third again, Chase Elliott, Chastain, Byron, Busch, Gibbs, and Reddick.
Hamlin got good stage points there once again. Good stage win by Kyle Larson there. What a wild stage number 2 as we are going to go to commercial break for the final stage.
Sit. Gentle. Oh my god. Ready, go.
I think the other one.
Going all 3 times.
As we're back here at the end of stage 2, as we have our post-stage 2 pit stops, Kyle Larson leads him down. Denny Hamlin comes in. Michael Avery.
Denny Hamlin is complaining that the car is just too tight to compete with Kyle Larson. He wants a slight wedge adjustment and 4 tires and fuel for the Sport Clips number 11 machine.
Ross is content with his car and doesn't want any adjustments. 4 tires and fuel for a number 1 car.
Kyle Larson reports no complaints with the Kellogg's machine. All he needs is 4 tires and Sunoco fuel, and he can go on and win this race.
Dominant card today. Christopher Bell is comfortable but wants a slight air pressure adjustment. It'll be 4 tires and fuel as they're 3 wide coming off of pit road.
Yeah, Ethan, I have no idea how Christopher Bell won that race off pit road. I guess that's a positive from having the number 1 pit stall. You get the shorter route on the exit. But 3 cars have stayed out here as we come to the choose. It's Barry, Hosevar, and Bowman, the 3 who pitted at the end of stage 1. They're going to be pretty close on fuel here as you see everyone else kind of choosing here. As Ty Gibbs sneakily in the top 10, as he did get a couple stage points at the end of stage 2. As we're going to head down to Kobe Lavin on the report.
Now, with the tire package that NASMAR brought this weekend, these tires won't last compared to the rest of the field. In addition to that, they're also short on fuel by a lap or 2. They're all on the radio banking on a wreck here on the restart. But we haven't had one yet today, so we'll see if it happens.
Well, that's going to be really interesting on the restart there. Thank you, Kobe.
As here are the point standings to the results of stage 2. This does not affect where they're at right now. This is just where the points are at the moment. Denny Hamlin's still minus 11 to Alex Bowman, but Josh Berry is going to lead him down to the line with a great jump, and we're back underway in stage 3.
I mean, just a blasphemous jump there by Berry. Far and away from the other drivers, but those new tires, they're going to be coming strong.
Yeah, with this new tire package, tires do seem to matter. Josh Berry looks like to be a sitting duck right now for the lead, but there's 3 wide back here. Larson splitting the middle with his Hendrick teammate, Chase Elliott. What a wild move for Kyle Larson.
Yeah, it's a hornet's nest back there. Meanwhile, up front, Josh Berry is losing time to Christopher Bell. Bell's on the back bumper of him, but it looks like he's going to have to use a different lane other than the bottom to get around him. Meanwhile, Alex Bowman is losing a ton of time and is dropping like a rock.
Well, if I'm a betting man, this tire strategy might work out because most NASCAR races have a caution in them. So the 21 banking on it, they better hope that it comes out. Here comes the 20 machine. 2 is inside, and here comes the 11 as well. A little bit of contact there.
Josh Berry stood absolutely no chance to the Joe Gibbs Toyotas of Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin. And Michael Avery now has a pit road report right now.
Yeah, guys, Alex Bowman is currently reporting a bad vibration on the 48 machine and is begging for a caution right now, or things could potentially get worse for the 48 team.
Yes, the leader is Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin, which Hamlin is closing in on Bell just very little bit, or catching lap traffic. Meanwhile, though, Alex Bowman is outside the top 20 and needs a caution back.
Well, only +8 on the cut line. Like I said in the beginning of the race, you feel like you're in a must-win here as the 11 team. That 5 car is still strong, though, sitting in third. He was running the top really well, working through the lap traffic here, working through some Toyotas. Christopher Bell, still your leader.
A huge dive bomb for Christopher Bell, but Denny Hamlin follows him through. Denny Hamlin right on the backbone of his teammate. Ty Dillon's in the way. He takes it 3 wide. Now they're side by side for the race lead.
Oh, crash front straightaway. Joey Logano turn around into the inside wall. A moderate hit for that 22 car. And, man, that is a huge impact to the playoff implications. He is one of the cars on the bubble. And he gets the car back going. Luckily, I don't know if he's going to have too much damage to continue. But the first caution for incident today is out.
Oh, there's the caution that the 21 needed just a little too late. Big hit there for the 22. Slips up the racetrack, then slides down into the inside wall. Misjudging the corner there.
Turn 4 was a struggle spot in the spring for many drivers. Not surprising to see Joey Logano lose it there. Just misjudged it just a bit. Slides off the corner and hits the inside wall pretty hard. I'm pretty sure that'll be the end of his night, at least competitively.
And that is the Chastain-Logano beef that we've been talking about even in the pre-race. But Logano in, Bowman on pit road, and Bowman on the pit road for that vibration. But the first caution for incident today is out. We'll be back with only a few laps to go here at Bristol.
Load up.
Travis attempting to dive, attempt number 4,363.
I have a good feeling about this one.
Okay.
Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme. Get on up. It's diving time.
All right, we're back here at Bristol. With only going to be 3 laps to go when we get to the restart. Bell and Hamlin choose row 1.
Well, that was your caution. And lots of drivers electing to choose the outside there. A host of ours is going to get some positions.
Yeah, a lot of strategy here on the choose cone. A lot of drivers gaining multiple rows. Still the Joe Gibbs Toyotas out front here for this restart as they come off turn 4. Denny Hamlin now is your control car, and he's going to launch it down into turn number 1.
And here comes Larson, 3 wide around the outside. Bell gets split middle. He's in the unpreferred lane. Larson gets around him. He's going to move up to third. Meanwhile, 3 wide behind with Chris Buescher.
Well, Kyle Larson got by Chase Elliott there. We're coming to 2 to go. It's Denny Hamlin, your leader. Kyle Larson, though, closing in using that top lane.
Denny Hamlin versus Kyle Larson. We've seen this battle before. Larson using the top line. He's going to try to use the momentum off turn number 2. He's going to try to get to the rear bumper. He's going to peek back to the outside. Denny Hamlin versus Kyle Larson for the win here at Bristol.
One more time around here at Bristol. Larson fakes low, goes high as they're side by side in the turn 1 for the final time. Hamlin goes high a little bit, but Larson has a run as they come off turn 2 and down the backstretch. He gets turned around. Into the wall hard goes Denny Hamlin. He's crashing as here comes Chris Buescher for the lead as they're wrecking big time in turn 3. They're side by side for the lead, and as they come off 4 at the line, it's going to be Buescher. Chris Buescher edges out Larson and barely wins the race here at Bristol.
And the field is destroyed in the back. Chase Elliott somehow manages to get that car spun back around. And Chris Buescher victorious here at the Coliseum.
A heartbreaker for Denny Hamlin. But where the heck was Chris Buescher on that restart? He wasn't even in the top 5, I believe. And he somehow steals this win from Hamlin and Larson. What a crazy run to the finish here for the 17 car.
Yeah, well, he started 8th on that restart, and he comes up with 3 laps to go and wins the race here at Bristol. I think that 3-wide move on the exit of turn 2 with 3 to go was one of the best factors that helped him get into the equation. But meanwhile, Denny Hamlin with a few big hits with Chase Elliott, Ty Gibbs, and Josh Berry, as he doesn't even finish the race, and now he's eliminated from the playoffs. Unfortunate.
Yeah, remarkably, that Chase Elliott machine didn't spin around and was able to complete it. 54 looks fine, but big hit with the 21 there for Denny Hamlin. You see Briscoe and the other Joe Gibbs teammates missing it and just right in the face of the 21.
But Chris Buescher is your winner, and he's going to burn it down here for the fans at Bristol.
Guys, I don't even think that Denny Hamlin needed to win the race to make the next round. He had so many stage points piled up from the first 2 stages, and he ended up being second if he didn't win the race. I don't think he really needed that, but look at the finish of the line. Buescher just has a nose ahead of Larson. What a close finish here at Bristol. We had one in the spring as well with Hamlin and Chastain. Oh, what could have been if Denny Hamlin won both in a row in a photo finish. But Chris Buescher wins.
Yeah, and Denny Hamlin, I mean, ends up finishing what, last? That's just
37th
there.
Yeah, just horrible for that 11 car. Like you said, Tim, I don't believe he needed to win that race to make it. I think there was just a lack of situational awareness for that 11 car as we go through here in the top 20. Carson Hocevar with a decent finish and a couple other notable finishes, including Jimmy Johnson.
And as you see here, Alex Bowman 24th, Joey Logano 27th. They didn't even make it high enough in the field to where it would have been a threat to Hamlin's playoff hopes if he had lost the race and finished second or third. But just lack of awareness maybe, I don't know what, from the 11 team, unless if he just really wanted to win that bad. But just very unfortunate for Denny Hamlin. He's going to miss out barely.
Yeah, very interesting turn of events there. Huge race. And Hamlin out of it.
Yeah, here's your round of 12. Bowman barely making it in. Thankfully, Denny wrecking on that final lap kind of saved his playoff chances. Let's see what he can do with this spark of life that he got from tonight.
But yeah, for sure. What an unfortunate ending of the race for Denny Hamlin. And just unfortunate that anyone else that wasn't a must-win there. Austin Cindric, Ty Gibbs, and Josh Berry all weren't able to make it and win the race either. And even more insult to injury that 2 of them got involved in that last lap wreck.
Yeah, I mean, big changes there to the entire playoff picture. I mean, Alex Bowman has a huge spark of life, like you said, Will. But Denny Hamlin, I mean, just, I don't know. I don't think it's on his fault. I don't know if that was Larson. I don't know if they're going to beef. We'll see next week.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to know in the moment. You're battling for a win in the Bristol night race. It's one of the biggest races on the schedule. Sometimes you can get caught up in the moment, trying to make an aggressive move and kind of forget big picture that you're racing for a championship. So I don't completely blame Denny there, but that move definitely cost him on the final lap. Kind of unfortunate. That's how his playoff chances end after what was honestly one of the best years he's had at NASMAR, especially the regular season.
Yeah, I think he got 4 wins or so this season. I'm gonna say it, but it definitely wasn't his year. But yeah, it was an interesting way. I think it was just a late block there. Larson obviously not gonna lift. It's the last lap, and I think it's just a sheer racing incident. And I wanted to reference back to the Chastain and Logano beef. That wreck looked like a pure racing incident as well. I mean, it looked like they were just racing each other hard. I think they were around 11th or so when that accident took place. So yeah, very just unfortunate for them.
Well, that's pretty much it from Bristol. I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah, well,
I'm trying to watch the real Bristol race right now.
Yeah, for sure, and definitely lucky for Joey Logano and Alex Bowman to make it into the next round. But thank you to you guys, Victor Imbasciani and Will Reagan, other known as Northwest Cup and Southeast Cup Series, for commentating with me today. Thank you to Ethan Shield, Ethan Duweldy, Michael Avery, and Kobe Lavin for being the pit reporters today. And thank you to Timothy Dwyer for being the Grand Marshal. And I hope you guys all enjoyed, and have a good rest of your day, guys. This was NASMAR Bristol. Bye-bye.
Bye.